Well, welcome to another edition of 42nd Street Pete's Grindhouse, and as you hear in the background, the fucking lawnmowers have started already. It's been 60, not even close to 60 degrees yet, and the grass is growing, and people are mowing their fucking lawns, and they start this shit at 8 o'clock in the morning and keep it fucking going all day. But anyway, let's go back into some movies. And today's movie we're going to talk about is something called Mutations. And that was, I believe, 1974. A British movie. Me and Big Al were in, I don't know where we were, I think we were in the embassy, and we were watching something, and they ran the trailer for Mutations. And it said, it's not nice to fool with Mother Nature. In fact, it can be deadly. And they showed a bunch of weird fucking shit going on. So, of course, we're going to be back next week to see it. So, this has been released on other labels. I don't remember, one of these boutique bullshit vanity companies has it out as the Freakmaker. It had an introduction on the one I saw by Jack Cardiff, who directed it. And he says, I hope you enjoy the Freakmaker. So I guess that was the original title. I guess whoever released it decided to try to use Mutations instead. And it stars Donald Pleasence as a mad scientist who basically thinks that, you know, we evolved from plants or some kind of horse shit like that. And he has this guy from a freak show, Mr. Lynch, played by Doctor Who's Tom Baker, who has a deformed face. And Pleasence has promised to cure him and the freak show that he represents. And by doing that, he grabs college students so Donald can experiment on them. And Donald does all this in a complete deadpanned way. They turn some girl into some weird thing, and they basically give her to the freak show as the lizard woman. Gee, wonder where you got that idea. Did you sit through a bunch of times with Struther Martin because all his fucking failed experiments wound up in a freak show? But I digress. Anyway, they keep doing this shit. And Mr. Lynch has a partner played by Michael Dunn, who is a legit little person. And actually, they have the same, a group of actually real, you know, freak show people, unfortunately, that also appeared in 1977's The Sentinel. The alligator woman, the guy with the pop eyes, the rubber boy, the wolf woman, things like that. So in this film, they're all pretty much big happy family except for Lynch, who walks in on a birthday party that they're having and starts drooling and snarling and kicks all their stuff away and screams at him, I'm not like you, I'm not like you, and that's it. Then he goes and visits a prostitute who basically, he pays her whatever it is to say that, you know, she loves him. Okay, yeah, fine. Little pathetic thing there. But anyway, they get another college student who Donald transforms into a humanoid Venus flytrap. And he has, like, in the previews you saw these flowery fucking hands and shit. He's all deformed, and his thing opens up and he eats a wino by the river. And now Donald has captured the other main star. I think it's Julie Edge, and he's about to do something fucked up to her, when the Venus flytrap guy crashes through the skylight, engulfs Donald, and spits out his desiccated corpse. Well, Mr. Lynch doesn't fare too well either, because while he's basically trying to do something else underhanded, he's surrounded by his fellow freaks who use him as a human dartboard with fucking knives, and dogs take him down eventually, so that's the end of him. All in all, a weird, fucking, sometimes depressing-ass movie. And like I said, Pleasence plays it completely fucking deadpan. And like I said, this is available on Blu-ray as the Freakmaker, probably with the Jack Cardiff intro. But while we're on the subject of Big Al, I can tell the Big Al story. Unbeknownst to all you, Big Al was quite the ladies' man after he dropped a lot of weight. And his preferred woman of choice would be a go-go dancer. So, one Saturday, I used to do Englishtown religiously, selling there, but if I wasn't selling there, I'd be drawn down there because you never know what kind of fucking deals you would find down there. So, Big Al and his current girlfriend, I think her name was Lisa, a dancer, go with me. Well, in the parking lot of the flea market, sometimes people would pull in with a pickup truck full of mutt puppies. and try to sell them for like $10 a piece. Actually, that's how I got my first dog, Morgan, and she was a great dog. But anyway, Big Al and me and Lisa are walking past this truck, and she goes, "Oh, puppies, how cute!" And of course, Al's gonna buy her a fucking puppy. Well, off to the side, I'm talking to one of the people involved in this, and I said, "Well, what kind of dogs are these?" And the guy goes, "Well, the mother was a Saint Bernard, and the father was a German Shepherd." So I'm snickering to myself, realizing that this dog is going to be fucking big. All right, so a few months go by, Al and Lisa split for a while. Al inherited this fucking house in, I believe it was Orange, and it's no longer there because 280 knocked it down when they went through with that, but it was this big, rambling old house that he inherited from his aunt, which he basically never kept up. Something broke, he never fucking fixed it. But we partied there every Saturday night because nobody went near the house because Al was fucking crazy. I was fucking crazy, and most of the people we hung out with were fucking crazy. So I remember just, hanging around. I think we were playing cards, a bunch of us, and Lisa walks in with the dog. The dog is huge. The dog had to weigh 150 pounds and just ambled its way in and sat down. So she's sucking up to Al, and they're whispering sweet nothings into each other's ears, and I'm like, okay, this isn't going to end good, but I'm playing cards. Well, they disappear into Big Al's bedroom. I eventually wind up on the couch because I'm completely shit-faced and I'm going to catch some Z's. So I wake up to this horrible screaming and yelling to the point of, "Where is that fucking bitch, that fucking cunt? Where the fuck did she go? Jesus, I can't fucking believe this shit." And I'm like, oh Christ, I'm trying to fucking wake up because whatever's going on, I really don't want any fucking part of. He comes out, he's looking in every fucking room. You gotta drive me over to her place. You gotta drive me over to the place. She left the dog here. You gotta drive. I'm like, what? Well, it winds up that, he and Lisa started, making nookie, and he passed out, and she must have slipped out sometime during the night, and while she slipped out, the dog slipped in. So him still being half shit-faced must have reached behind him to cop a feel and came up with a fistful of dog balls, which didn't sit well with him. So I'm like, all right, I can't fucking drive, dude. No, we gotta bring this, we gotta find out where the fuck she is. All right, so I eventually sober myself up enough to drive where he thinks she is, and where he thinks she is an apartment for rent. So basically, she went over, fucked him, left the dog there, and probably was already packed and out of the place. So now he is stuck with this huge fucking dog. And I can remember he used to have to clean up the poop with a fucking snow shovel, and he had a burn barrel in his backyard. But I'll tell you one thing, that dog hung out on the front porch, and nobody, and I mean nobody, bothered that house. If that dog didn't know you, and you weren't one of the regular people that frequented that house, you weren't getting in that fucking house. That dog lasted about, 5 or 6 years. I think he came home and found it dead on the front porch. It must have had a heart attack or heart failure or something. But the house didn't last too much long after that because the state was on his ass to sell. He was holding off. He got some kind of payment. And then, of course, Big Al ain't going to leave till the wrecking ball hits the house, which it did. So that's the Big Al and his dog story, along with Freakmaker. So we're hitting the weekend here, so I hope everybody has a great weekend. Thanks for subscribing. Thanks for tuning in. If you didn't get the new Grindhouse Resurrection, all you got to do is PayPal $15 to Mr. 42nd Street Pete at yahoo.com. That's MR42ND, Street spelled out, Pete spelled out at yahoo.com. And yes, I'm expecting the first issue in momentarily, probably over the weekend. So until next time, stay safe. We'll catch you on the flip side.